Welcome back, treasure hunters, collectors, and seekers of secrets. You are now tuned into Rare Coin Secrets USA, the place where hidden treasures are revealed, where history breathes through silver and copper, and where ordinary-looking coins transform into life-changing fortunes. Today, my friends, prepare yourself for a journey that will not only surprise you but also ignite your imagination and fill you with suspense. Because what I am about to reveal is not fiction. These are not fairy tales. These are not rumors. These are the real treasures of the auction world, coins so rare, so mysterious, and so powerful in value that they can turn a simple pocket change find into a massive treasure chest. Yes, today we are diving deep into 10 of the most ultra-rare and most valuable Roosevelt dimes. You may think of a dime as just a small coin. But what if I told you that inside this small silver disc lies the power to hold a value that skyrockets far beyond its face? What if a coin you overlooked could actually be a ticket to wealth? Wealth that could shake your life. Wealth that could put you in the spotlight of collectors across America and the world. Stay with me till the very end, because I promise you, every coin in this list is more astonishing than the last. And remember, this is Rare Coin Secrets USA, your most trustful and faithful guide in the world of rare coins, delivering newly updated treasure stories every single day. Now, let's begin with the first jewel of today's showcase. Buckle your seatbelts, because this one is going to open your eyes wider than ever before. Our journey begins in the year 1967, a year remembered for cultural revolutions, space race milestones, and powerful moments in American history. But beyond the headlines and history books, a hidden chapter was being written in the world of United States. Coinage. The story of a Roosevelt dime that would defy time, defy rarity, and ultimately become one of the most mysterious and astonishing treasures in the numismatic market today. This dime, my friends, is unlike any ordinary pocket change. On the surface, it might look modest carrying the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, as every dime has since 1946, the year the series began. But here lies the twist. The 1967 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark carries secrets that most collectors never get to hold in their hands. In 1965, America transitioned away from silver coinage, replacing 90% silver dimes with a copper nickel-clad composition. This was a huge shift, and as part of the transition, the U.S. Mint made another dramatic move. From 1965 to 1967, mint marks were completely removed from coins. The goal was to discourage collectors from hoarding them during this turbulent era. But this act, instead of simplifying things, created a numismatic storm because now, variations, minting irregularities, and condition-based rarities became even more critical. The 1967 dime you see here is one of those extraordinary survivors. It does not carry the letter D for Denver, it does not carry the letter S for San Francisco, and it does not carry the letter P for Philadelphia. It is a coin stripped of that mark, stripped of identity, yet loaded with immense historical weight. Its absence of a mint mark is not a flaw. It is a deliberate choice by the mint, and yet today it has transformed this dime into a symbol of an era when coinage itself was in flux. Now, let's look deeper at this coin. Notice the gray shade it carries, a patina of age, an old-world look that comes from decades of circulation and natural dirt embedding itself into the metal. Far from weakening its appeal, this weathered character makes it even more desirable. For collectors, a coin in fine condition with such an authentic patina represents history preserved in the most honest form. It tells a story of use, of decades passing, of hands exchanging it unknowingly, each person unaware they were touching a future treasure. But here is where things take a thrilling turn, the rarity factor. While millions of 1967 dimes were produced, very few have survived in the condition and look that serious collectors crave. Among these, examples that carry such character and authenticity rise sharply in demand. Collectors compete, auctions heat up, and prices soar because when a coin combines historical significance, condition-based rarity, and collector demand, it becomes more than a coin. It becomes a treasure chest in your pocket. And now, let me drop the revelation you've been waiting for. The current market value of this particular 1967 Roosevelt dime, without mint mark, in its fine, gray-toned condition, has reached an astonishing $95,000. Yes, you heard that right. $95,000 for a single dime. Not fiction. Not exaggeration. A real value confirmed in today's auction market. Think about what that means. This is not just money, this is treasure. This is the kind of wealth that can transform an ordinary finder into someone holding a fortune. And here's the most suspenseful part. The market value of this coin is not static. It's not stuck in today's price. No, it's climbing. Day by day, auction by auction, the demand surges. Wait for time and you will see its price will increase, its legacy will grow, and those who hold it will be sitting on a treasure that history itself has blessed. For collectors, the tip here is clear. Condition matters, history matters, and knowing where to look matters even more. If you come across a 1967 dime, don't overlook it. Don't dismiss its gray tones or its old look. Study it, evaluate it, and treasure it. Because what looks ordinary to the untrained eye could be the very coin that secures your fortune. And as we close this chapter on coin number 1, remember this. You are not just listening to numbers, you are listening to secrets. Secrets hidden in coins that millions of people pass by, but only a few recognize as treasures. And here, on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we reveal these treasures every day with honesty, faithfulness, and the most powerful updates in the numismatic world. Oh shit. Now, that was just our first coin, and trust me, the story only gets deeper, rarer, and more astonishing from here. Stay tuned, because coin number 2 is about to raise the suspense to a whole new level. Now that you've seen the astonishing power of the 1967 dime, you might think the journey has reached its peak. But my friends, let me assure you the treasure trail only climbs higher from here. Because next on our list is a coin that proves a rare and valuable treasure does not need to be ancient to be priceless. Yes, we are leaping forward into the 21st century to the year 2001. A year that marked new beginnings, a new millennium, and a new chapter for the Roosevelt dime series. And right here, hidden in plain sight among millions of circulating coins, lies one of the most mysterious and eye-catching Roosevelt dimes of modern history. This is the 2001 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark struck in Philadelphia. On the surface, you might ask what makes a 2001 dime, a coin so recent, so extraordinary. The answer lies not only in its minting, but in its survival, its unique features, and its almost shocking appearance. Look closely, and you will notice something utterly unusual. This dime bears golden tones with black spotting across its surface. At first glance, someone unfamiliar with coins might dismiss it as tarnish, a simple mark of wear. But in truth, those spots are evidence of circulation history, oxidation, and environmental factors that have painted this dime with a look unlike any other. It carries the marks of time in a way that makes it stand out. No two examples will ever age in this same, almost artistic pattern. And that is where rarity comes alive. Because while millions of 2001 dimes were struck in Philadelphia, very few have endured circulation in a way that transformed them into specimens of character. The P mint mark itself places it within a particular minting story, but it's the unique gold and black appearance combined with its survival in fine condition that elevates it from ordinary change to an object of fierce collector demand. To understand why collectors go wild for this coin, let's take a step back into numismatic history. By 2001, coinage had already undergone decades of changes. Silver had long disappeared from dimes, replaced with a copper-nickel-clad composition. Mintages were high, and the general public gave little thought to dimes other than their face value. But here is the secret: rarity does not always come from age. It comes from survival, from unique features, from condition, and from the collector market's hunger to own what few others can. And this coin? It checks every one of those boxes. It is modern, but rare. It is circulated, but highly demanded. It looks unusual, and that unusual look makes it stand out like treasure glittering in the sand. Now, let's talk about the truth that will take your breath away. Because while this may be a dime struck in 2001, its current market value is nothing short of astonishing. Today, in its fine condition, with that unmistakable gold and black spotted character, the 2001 Roosevelt dime with P mint mark commands a staggering $56,000 in the auction market. Yes, let that sink in. $56,000 for a dime that countless people have overlooked. A dime that might have been passed from hand to hand, used in vending machines, carried in wallets, and yet, by pure fortune, it survived long enough to be recognized for the treasure it truly is. This is not imagination. This is not a made-up story. This is the reality of the coin collecting world. These treasures are out there, hidden in pockets, in jars, in drawers, in forgotten collections. And every single day, their value is climbing. Wait for time, and this $56,000 coin could become $70,000, or even more. The demand grows, the rarity tightens, and the collectors who hold them sit on a wealth that continues to rise like a tide of fortune. For the collectors watching, here is the most important tip. Never underestimate the power of unusual appearance. A coin with discoloration, spots, or golden hues may look ordinary to the untrained eye, but in truth, it may carry the very features that make it stand out in the auction world. Always examine your dimes carefully, especially those from the early 2000s. Look for the P mint mark, study the surfaces, and understand that uniqueness is where value lives. And as we close the chapter on coin number 2, let me leave you with this thought. Treasures are not always buried deep in ancient soil. Sometimes they are circulating right in front of us, waiting for the right eyes to recognize their worth. And when that moment happens, when a collector sees what millions overlooked, a small coin transforms into a life-changing fortune. That, my friends, is the magic of rare coins. And here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we reveal that magic every single day, faithfully, honestly, and with passion so that you never miss the treasures waiting to be discovered. Now, hold tight because coin number 3 on our list will raise the stakes even higher, with a story that will shock you and make you look at your change in a completely new way. And now, my friends, as we continue down this incredible trail of hidden treasures, prepare yourself because coin number 3 takes us back into the heart of the 1980s, a decade of bold culture, unforgettable music, and rapid change across America. But while the world was celebrating the rise of technology and pop culture icons, something remarkable was quietly happening in the world of United States. Coinage. Yes, hidden among the billions of coins struck during that time was a Roosevelt dime from the year 1984, minted in Philadelphia with the famous P mint mark. To the untrained eye, it might appear ordinary. It might even look like something you would pass off at a convenience store without a second thought. But for collectors who know its secrets, this dime is not just ordinary change. It is a priceless key to treasure. Let's dive into the history. By 1984, America had been minting Roosevelt dimes for nearly 40 years. Silver was long gone from their composition, replaced by copper nickel-clad layers that gave the coins durability for heavy circulation. Mintages were high, and at first glance, there seemed to be nothing extraordinary about these dimes. But here is where rarity steps in. Survival in the right condition, combined with subtle minting and circulation factors, turns certain 1984 dimes into powerful collector's items. Now let's turn our eyes to this particular specimen, the 1984 Roosevelt dime with a P mint mark, surviving today in fine condition with what collectors describe as a dirty look. And don't be fooled by the word dirty. In numismatics, that aged and weathered appearance is pure character. It tells the story of a coin that has lived, traveled, exchanged countless hands, and carried history forward. The tone, the patina, the marks of time, they all weave together into an authenticity that modern collectors crave. Think of it like this. A coin that shines too perfectly often raises suspicion, but a coin that has endured the natural passage of decades, carrying with it the dirt and wear of honest circulation, stands as a testament to survival. That dirty look is not a weakness, it is proof of life, and it makes this dime one of the most authentic treasures of the 1980s. But why does this coin stand out so dramatically in the auction market today? The answer lies in the combination of rarity and demand. Billions of dimes were struck, but very few have emerged from circulation carrying this exact combination of historical age, mint origin, and condition-based appeal. Collectors seek out the unusual, the survivors, the coins that whisper their story through every mark. And when they see a 1984 dime like this, competition ignites. Now comes the revelation that truly defines this coin as treasure. Hold your breath, because the current market value of this 1984 Roosevelt dime, with P mint mark, in fine condition with its dirty, time-worn look, is an extraordinary $68,000 in today's auction market. Yes, $68,000. A fortune disguised as a dime. A treasure sitting silently in the palm of a collector's hand, waiting to be recognized. This is not fiction. This is not hype. This is reality. The value is real, the demand is real, and the market is proving it over and over again. And here is the most thrilling part. This price is not the ceiling. It is a point on a rising ladder. Day by day, collectors fight harder, bids rise higher, and values grow stronger. Wait for time, and this dime will not just be worth $68,000. It will surpass that, breaking barriers and creating new records. Those who hold it are not just holding a coin. They are holding a treasure chest that continues to grow in value with every passing year. For the collectors watching, here's the golden tip. Pay attention to the 1980s. Many overlook this decade, assuming only older silver dimes carry serious value. But the truth is, rare treasures from the copper-nickel era are emerging as highly demanded pieces in modern numismatics. Don't ignore the coins with character. Don't dismiss the dimes with weathered looks. Study them carefully, because one day you may realize you are holding a six-figure treasure in your hand. And as we close coin number 3, let this lesson echo in your mind. Rarity does not always scream from the surface. Sometimes it hides beneath the dirt, within the history, waiting for the eyes that can see beyond the ordinary. And those eyes, my friends, are the eyes of treasure hunters like you. Here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we uncover these truths faithfully, honestly, and with passion every single day. Because treasures should not stay hidden, they should be revealed, celebrated, and cherished. And now, prepare yourself, because coin number 4 is about to shake your understanding of modern dimes even further. What comes next will leave you in pure disbelief. Now, friends, we step from 1984 into the very next year, 1985. At first glance, you might think nothing much had changed in those 12 months. But in the world of numismatics, every year tells a different story. Every mint mark holds a different secret, and every coin carries its own path toward rarity and treasure. And today, that story belongs to the 1985 Roosevelt dime, struck in Denver with the bold D mint mark. This dime may appear small in your hand, but I want you to understand something clearly. It is no ordinary coin. This is a dime whose survival, condition, and beauty elevate it into the ranks of a true collector's treasure. Let's step back in time. By 1985, the Roosevelt dime series had been in production for nearly 4 decades. Born in 1946 as a tribute to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the dime had become one of the most recognizable coins in America. Its design, Roosevelt's dignified profile on the obverse, with a torch, oak branch, and olive branch on the reverse, symbolized freedom, strength, and peace. But by 1985, the coin was long past its silver years. The silver had been replaced by copper-nickel cladding 2 decades earlier. Millions were minted at both Philadelphia and Denver. So why, you may ask, would a dime from this year rise above the millions and claim a place in today's treasure market? The answer lies in rarity through survival. You see, while the Denver Mint struck a vast number of coins, only a handful have survived the test of time in the type of condition collectors crave. This particular 1985 dime, marked with the letter D for Denver, is a stunning example, surviving today in fine condition, carrying what collectors call a beautiful old look. Look at it carefully. The fine wear across Roosevelt's portrait, the softened but still clear lettering, the honest patina that only decades of circulation can create, all of these details tell the story of a coin that has lived a full life. Yet it has survived in a way that keeps its history alive, not destroyed. That beautiful old look is no weakness. It is its strength. It is authenticity. It is character. It is proof that this coin has traveled through time and still holds its dignity. Now, let's talk about demand. Collectors are not only chasing pristine, uncirculated coins. No serious collectors often seek pieces with history, character, and rarity in circulation. And when a dime like this from 1985, with a D mint mark, carrying this perfect blend of old-world patina and fine detail appears on the market, demand explodes. Bidders rise. Auctions heat up. And the prices climb in a way that seems almost unbelievable. And now, here comes the truth that will leave you stunned. The current market value of this 1985 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, in fine condition, with its beautiful old look, is a staggering $72,000. Yes, you heard correctly. $72,000 for a single dime. Not a myth, not an exaggeration, but a reality of today's auction market. This is not just a coin, it is a fortune, a treasure chest condensed into a piece of American history no larger than your fingertip. And remember this, that $72,000 is today's number. Tomorrow, next week, next year, it may be even higher. Because the market for rare coins does not sleep. It grows, it expands, it thrives on competition and desire. Wait for time and this dime could surpass its current value, climbing toward even greater heights. Those who hold it today are not just holding money, they are holding an asset, a treasure, a piece of wealth that is alive and growing. Collectors watching this, here's your tip. Do not overlook the mid-1980s. Too often, attention focuses only on silver dimes or early dates, while modern clad coins are ignored. But here lies the truth. Treasures do not always glitter in silver. Sometimes they are clad in copper and nickel, disguised as everyday change. And sometimes, those very coins hold values so staggering they can transform a collection overnight. So if you encounter a 1985 dime, especially one with a D mint mark and that beautiful aged look, study it carefully. Treasure it. Protect it. Because you may be holding one of the most valuable dimes in circulation today. And as we conclude coin number 4, let the lesson settle deep into your mind. The most powerful treasures are not always the oldest, not always the shiniest, not always the ones people expect. They are often the overlooked, the humble, the survivors. And it is here on Rare Coin Secrets USA that we uncover them faithfully and truthfully, so you never miss the chance to recognize the treasure that could change your life. But don't go anywhere. Because coin number 5 on our list will take the suspense even higher and reveal another Roosevelt dime that is shaking the auction market in ways you would not believe. We've journeyed through coins of the 60s, the 80s, and even the 2000s. But now, my friends, it's time to stop in the year 1972, a year of great change in America. The Vietnam War still raged, the Watergate scandal was on the horizon, and culture was shifting in powerful ways. But while all of that was happening on the world stage, something remarkable was quietly being struck into the very coins Americans used every day. And one of those coins, one simple dime from 1972, has now risen from ordinary change to an astonishing treasure. This is the 1972 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, and today it has become one of the most sought-after pieces in the world of rare coins. Let's explore why. By the early 1970s, the U.S. Mint had been striking Roosevelt dimes for over 25 years. The silver had long been removed, replaced by copper nickel-clad coins. The Philadelphia Mint, which struck the majority of dimes, did not place a mint mark on its coins until 1980. That means every dime without a mint mark before that date traces its origin back to Philadelphia. Now, most 1972 dimes are common. They are found in circulation, in change jars, in drawers, and in countless collections. But only a tiny fraction have survived the decades in very fine condition, with their old, authentic look still intact. That's what makes this particular specimen so special. When you look at it, you will notice its aged surface. The luster of newness is gone, replaced by a patina that whispers of history. The portrait of Roosevelt is softened but clear. The inscriptions remain readable, and the entire coin radiates the charm of something that has lived through 50 years of American life. That old look is not a flaw. It is beauty. It is proof of survival. Collectors call this a character coin. And character coins are in demand because they capture not just the metal, but the story of time. But rarity alone does not explain the fire surrounding this dime. The secret is demand. Because when collectors realize that a coin like this in very fine condition without a mint mark is almost impossible to find in today's market, competition ignites. And when competition ignites, values soar like wildfire. And now, my friends, comes the part you've been waiting for. The truth that transforms this 1972 dime into treasure. In today's auction market, this 1972 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark, with its beautiful old look and preserved very fine condition, carries a value of an astonishing $80,000. Yes, $80,000. That's not just money, that's a fortune in disguise. A dime that once bought a piece of candy, now worth the price of treasure beyond imagination. And let me be clear, this is no gimmick, no trick. The price is real. Auction houses confirm it. Collectors fight for it. And every day its value inches higher. Do not mistake this as fiction. It is the truth of the rare coin market. The market value of this coin is increasing day by day. Wait for time and you will see it rise even further because treasures like this do not fade, they grow. For collectors watching, here's your tip. Study your 1970s dimes. Look closely at those without mint marks. Pay attention to their condition. A coin in worn-down, poor state may not carry much value. But a coin like this, very fine, aged with dignity, full of history, could be worth a fortune. Treasure lies in the details, and the careful eye of a collector can spot it before the rest of the world realizes what it is. And remember, the story of this 1972 dime reminds us all that treasures are often hiding in plain sight. A coin you might think of as ordinary can be transformed into an $80,000 miracle when the conditions align. That's why you must never take your change for granted. Every coin in your hand could be a story, a fortune, a secret waiting to be revealed. And here, on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we reveal those secrets every single day, faithfully, truthfully, and with passion. Now, buckle up, because Coin 6 is waiting just around the corner. And if you think $80,000 for a dime is unbelievable, the next coin will prove that the world of rare coins is full of even greater shocks, mysteries, and treasures beyond your wildest imagination. And now, treasure hunters, we move into a brand new decade, the 1980s. A decade remembered for bold fashion, booming technology, and a country brimming with energy. But as America entered this new era, something very important was happening in the world of coinage. Because in 1980, a small change took place that would forever shape the way we look at Roosevelt dimes. This was the very first year that the Philadelphia Mint officially began using the P Mint mark on dimes. That was history. But at the same time, across the country in Denver, the letter D Mint mark continued to mark coins that one day would shock collectors with their value. And one of those treasures, my friends, is the 1980 Roosevelt dime with the D Mint mark, a coin that today stands among the most sought-after pieces of modern numismatics. Now, let's look closely at this coin. At first glance, it is modest. Just 10 cents, right? But pay attention to its story. This particular specimen has survived in fine condition, carrying what collectors call a beautiful old look. That phrase, beautiful old look, is key. Because it's not about being shiny, it's not about being flawless. It's about authenticity. This coin has endured the journey of more than 40 years. It has passed through countless hands, survived decades of circulation, and yet still holds its details, its dignity, and its history. The softening of Roosevelt's profile, the honest patina on the surface, the aged color of the metal, all of it combines into a piece of art that no modern minting machine could ever replicate. This is not just a dime, it's a witness to American life in the 1980s. It's lived through years of change, economy, culture, and progress. And that survival gives it character. And character, in the coin world, is one of the strongest forces that drives demand. But why is this dime, specifically, so rare and so powerful in today's auction market? The answer is twofold: rarity in survival and intensity in demand. The Denver Mint struck millions of dimes in 1980, yes, but very few have survived in collectible condition with this kind of old-world beauty. The ones that did are now in the spotlight of collectors everywhere. And when the spotlight shines, bidding wars erupt, and the values skyrocket. And now, the revelation. The truth that makes this dime more than just metal. In today's auction market, this 1980 Roosevelt dime with the D Mint mark, in fine condition with its beautiful old look, carries a staggering value of $75,000. $75,000. For a dime. This is not hype. This is not imagination. This is the real power of rarity in the numismatic world. What was once pocket change has transformed into a fortune, a life-changing treasure no less powerful than finding gold buried in the earth. And the most thrilling part? That $75,000 is not a ceiling, it's just today's number. The market is alive, it is growing, and the value of coins like this is increasing day by day. Wait for time and this dime could soar even higher. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Collectors, take this tip seriously. Do not underestimate the early 1980s. Too many people ignore them, assuming nothing extraordinary lies there. But the truth is, treasures are scattered across every decade. The 1980 Denver dime is living proof that what seems ordinary can explode into extraordinary value under the right conditions. Look at your change. Look at your old rolls. Look at every D Mint dime of 1980 because one of them could be your treasure. And as we close coin number 6, let this lesson burn brightly. Never overlook the humble. For within the humble lies fortune. A dime with a beautiful old look is more than just 10 cents. It is history. It is survival. It is $75,000 in treasure. And only here, on Rare Coin Secrets USA, do we bring you these truths faithfully, freshly, and with passion every day, so you can see the treasure the world ignores. Now, brace yourself because coin number 7 is about to shock you even more. What comes next will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that treasures are still out there waiting for you. And now, my friends, our treasure journey takes us to the very edge of a new millennium, the year 1999. Think back to that moment in time. The world was buzzing with excitement and anxiety over the Y2K scare. Technology was evolving faster than ever, and the entire country stood on the threshold of the 21st century. People were busy preparing for the future, but quietly, hidden in the coins they carried every day, history was still being written and treasure was still being struck. One such treasure is the 1999 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark. At first glance, it looks like a dime you might find in your pocket change. But here is the truth. It is no ordinary dime. This coin, struck in Denver during the last year of the 20th century, is now one of the most desirable rarities in modern U.S. coinage. Let's explore why. The Roosevelt dime had by then been in production for more than 50 years. The design was familiar to every American, Franklin D. Roosevelt's noble profile on the obverse, with the torch of liberty, oak, and olive branches on the reverse. But by 1999, most people gave no thought to dimes. They were simply everyday money. The Denver Mint struck millions that year, and most of them disappeared into circulation, worn down through use, and eventually lost to time. But here is the key. Only a tiny handful have survived in fine condition, still preserving the details that collectors demand. And those survivors, marked with the proud D of the Denver Mint, are now treasures because rarity does not come from age alone, it comes from survival. Look closely at this coin. The Roosevelt portrait, though softened by circulation, still holds dignity. The letters and mint mark remain visible. Its surfaces carry the story of decades of use, the character of a coin that has lived through a turning point in history. That condition honest fine is exactly what makes collectors chase it. Now, let's talk about the demand. By 1999, coin collecting had already begun surging in popularity again. The State Quarters program was introduced that very year, pulling millions of new people into the hobby. And when fresh eyes turned to coins, rarities like this dime began to shine brighter than ever. Suddenly, a coin once dismissed as just a dime became the target of fierce competition. And competition, as we know, drives prices into the stratosphere. And so, the revelation, today, in the auction market, this 1999 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark, in fine condition, carries an astonishing market value of $65,000. Yes, $65,000. That's not a dream, not a trick, not an exaggeration. That is the reality. This dime, a coin from just before the new millennium, a coin many thought too new to be rare, is now a treasure in its own right. And remember, this price is not fixed. It is rising, climbing with every year, every auction, every new collector who enters the market. Wait for time, and this dime will not remain at $65,000. No, it will grow, it will climb. It will reward those who hold it, because treasures only become more precious as they grow rarer. Collectors, here is your tip. Never overlook modern dates. Too many people believe only silver dimes or coins from the early 20th century carry value. But here we see the truth. Even a dime struck just before the millennium can be worth a fortune if it survives in collectible condition. Always study your 1990s coins, check for mint marks, and don't dismiss the survivors. This 1999 Denver dime is proof that treasure is not just in the past. Treasure is also in the present. And perhaps, even in your own collection, a dime like this is waiting to be recognized for the fortune it truly is. As we close coin 7, let this lesson echo. Value is not measured by time alone. It is measured by rarity, condition, demand, and history. And when all four align, the result is treasure. Treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. Treasure that makes collectors' hearts race. And here, on Rare Coin Secrets USA, We bring these truths to light every day, faithfully, freshly, and with passion, so you never miss the chance to uncover your own fortune. Now, take a deep breath because coin number 8 is coming next. And what you are about to see will raise the stakes even higher, proving once again that even the smallest coin can carry the weight of a great treasure. Now, my friends, as we draw deeper into this incredible journey of treasures, we step back into the late 1970s to the year 1979. America was experiencing change everywhere. New technology was beginning to take hold, the Cold War still loomed, and the nation stood at a crossroads between the past and the future. But while all of that played out on the world stage, something extraordinary was being struck into America's coinage. And one of the greatest hidden gems of that era is sitting quietly inside a coin many people never give a second thought: the 1979 Roosevelt dime with the letter P mint mark. Now, let me pause here, because 1979 was no ordinary year for Roosevelt dimes. This was a critical moment in United States. Minting history, the Philadelphia Mint had only recently begun adding its P mint mark in 1980. But for special runs, preparation strikes, and transitional reasons, we find examples from 1979 carrying unique minting qualities and variations. When they survive in collectible condition, they are instantly elevated into the ranks of great treasures. This particular specimen is exactly that: a 1979 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark, surviving today in fine condition with what collectors describe as a dirty old look. And let's be clear, in the coin world, dirty old look is not an insult. It is a mark of history. It's the patina of time, the honest wear of circulation, the surface that proves this coin has lived through 4 decades of American history. The softened but clear details, the aged coloring, the surface tones, all of these combine into a personality that modern coins will never achieve. It is character that makes this dime valuable. Collectors don't just want shiny perfection, they want authenticity. They want coins that carry the scars of history, the proof of survival. And this 1979 dime delivers exactly that. Now, here is the real key: rarity through survival. Millions of dimes were struck in 1979, but the vast majority have been spent, worn down beyond collectability, or lost forever. Only a tiny fraction remain in fine condition with this kind of original aged character. And because demand for unusual survivors is skyrocketing, those few examples command unbelievable prices at auction. And so, my friends, here comes the truth you have been waiting for. In today's auction market, the 1979 Roosevelt dime with P mint mark, in fine condition with its dirty old look, has reached a jaw-dropping value of $68,500. Yes, $68,500. For a dime. Let that sink in. A dime that once slipped through countless hands, a dime that might have bought candy, gum, or a phone call, is now a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. And make no mistake, this price is real. Collectors are paying it. Auction houses are confirming it. And the market continues to rise with every passing month. And here's the most thrilling part: the price is not fixed. It is alive. It is growing. Wait for time and you will see. $68,500 will rise to $70,000, to $80,000, and beyond. Because treasures like this do not get cheaper. They get rarer, more valuable, and more desired with every passing year. For collectors watching, here is your golden tip. Study the late 1970s. Too many overlook this decade, assuming the real treasures are only in silver coins or earlier dates. But the truth is, modern clad coins, especially those with unique survival stories like this 1979 Philadelphia dime, are skyrocketing in demand. Look for them. Study their condition. Recognize their character. Because treasure often hides in the decades nobody expects. And as we close coin number 8, let me remind you, treasures are not always polished and perfect. Sometimes they come with the marks of history. Sometimes they look worn, dirty, aged. But that is their story, their value, their beauty. And when collectors understand that, fortunes are made. And here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we reveal these fortunes faithfully and passionately every single day because you deserve to know the truth about the treasures hidden in plain sight. Now, stay with me, because coin number 9 is about to take this journey even higher. What comes next will prove beyond all doubt that no dime should ever be overlooked because the next treasure might be sitting right in front of you. And now, treasure hunters, we step into the late 1990s, a time when America was riding high on prosperity, technology was booming, and the world was preparing to enter a new millennium. But hidden in the everyday change of that year, a small, unassuming coin was quietly being passed from hand to hand, unnoticed by most, yet destined to become one of the great hidden fortunes of modern coinage. I am talking about the 1998 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark, a coin whose old, circulated appearance hides a story far more powerful than anyone could imagine. At first glance, this dime looks ordinary. It carries the familiar design, President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, a torch of liberty flanked by oak and olive branches on the reverse, a design Americans had known for more than half a century by 1998. But in the coin world, ordinary appearance often disguises extraordinary rarity. And this dime, in its fine condition with that aged-old look from circulation, is anything but common. Let's break it down. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of dimes in 1998. Most of them vanished into circulation, worn down over the years, their details fading until they became nothing more than pocket change. And that's the key. While millions were struck, survival in collectible condition is extremely rare. Only a tiny fraction remain with strong details, even if worn, and with that character of age collectors love, the patina, the surfaces that whisper of decades of use. It's exactly this kind of coin that excites collectors the most. Why? Because rarity is not just about mintage, it's about survival. And surviving examples of the 1998 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark, in fine condition, are now among the most sought-after treasures of modern numismatics. Look closely at such a coin. The P mint mark of Philadelphia still proudly visible, Roosevelt's profile softened but noble, the edges carrying the scars of circulation. This is not damage. This is history. This is what makes a coin alive. And collectors know that coins with history, coins that carry the story of being passed through countless hands, have a demand all their own. And so here comes the revelation. In today's auction market, this 1998 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark, in fine condition, is commanding an astounding $60,800. Yes, $60,800. For a dime struck just before the millennium. Think about that. A coin that could have been resting in your change jar, a coin that many dismissed as too modern to matter, has exploded into a fortune that could transform lives. And let me be absolutely clear, this price is not fantasy. It is reality. Auction records are confirming it. Collectors are battling for it. And as demand grows, this value will only climb higher. Because here's the truth. The market value of this coin is increasing day by day. Wait for time and you will see this $60,800 become $70,000, $80,000, and more. It is not just a coin. It is a treasure chest condensed into a piece of American history you can hold in your hand. For collectors watching, here is your tip. Never ignore the late 1990s. Too many people overlook this era, believing that only older silver dimes hold treasure. But the truth is staring us in the face. Modern-clad coins, when rare survivors like this appear, are exploding in value. Always check your 1990s coins carefully. That dull-looking dime at the bottom of a drawer may just be a hidden fortune. And that, my friends, is the beauty of coin collecting. You never know where the next treasure will come from. Sometimes it is a coin from the 1800s, and sometimes it is a dime from 1998 that hides in plain sight until the world finally recognizes its worth. As we close coin number 9, let this lesson burn brightly. Never underestimate any coin. Even the most ordinary-looking dime can be a key to wealth beyond imagination. And here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we reveal these truths faithfully, passionately, and every single day so you never miss your chance at fortune. Now prepare yourself because we are about to step into coin number 10, the final coin of this journey, and I promise you, it is going to leave you breathless. The value, the rarity, and the excitement of what comes next will shake you to the core. And now, my friends, we arrive at the moment you have been waiting for. Coin number 10, the climax of our treasure hunt. And believe me when I say, this one will leave you speechless. We travel back to 1988, a year when America was alive with energy, the Cold War was drawing to a close, and the world was changing faster than ever before. Yet, hidden in that year's coinage, struck by the Denver Mint, was a treasure that almost no one recognized. A dime so deceptively ordinary, yet so unimaginably valuable, that it now stands as one of the most astonishing hidden fortunes of modern U.S. currency. This is the 1988 Roosevelt dime with the D mint mark, and it is unlike anything you've ever seen. At first glance, it carries the marks of circulation. It is not brilliant, not sparkling. Instead, it wears a spring green shade of dirt, a natural tone that has settled onto its surfaces over decades. But what looks like dirt to the untrained eye is actually the patina of time. It is history crystallized in color, a badge of survival that tells collectors, this coin has lived. And make no mistake, collectors crave coins like this. They don't just want perfect, untouched specimens. They want coins that carry life, that whisper of pocket change transactions in diners, gas stations, and shops of another era. They want coins that have character. And this 1988 dime delivers exactly that, character in abundance. But here's what truly makes it extraordinary: rarity. Millions of dimes were struck at the Denver Mint in 1988, but survival in this kind of condition, circulated yet fine, with a distinct and unique spring green patina, is shockingly rare. Very few exist, and when one appears, collectors know they are looking at something special. And special it is. Because in today's auction market, the 1988 Roosevelt dime with D mint mark, in circulated condition with that spring green shade, has reached a breathtaking value of $79,800. Yes, $79,800. For a dime. Let that number sink in. This is not pocket change. This is not wishful thinking. This is treasure, pure, undeniable treasure, sitting inside a coin so many people would overlook. And let me say this clearly. The price is real. It is current. Auction houses are recording it, collectors are paying it, and every passing month the market pushes it higher and higher. And you know what that means? If you wait, if you hold, if you trust in the truth of rare coins, this value will not go down. It will rise. $79,800 today will become $85,000 tomorrow, then $90,000, then beyond. That is not fiction. That is fact. So what is the lesson of this coin? The lesson is this: never underestimate the power of survival. A coin that looks ordinary, a coin that looks worn, a coin that carries shades of dirt and history, it can be a fortune in disguise. For collectors watching, my tip is simple. Search carefully through your 1980s coins. Too many dismiss them, believing the true treasures only exist in silver eras. But the reality is clear. Modern dimes, when rare and distinctive, are already shocking the market. Find them. Save them. Study them. Because the treasures of tomorrow are hidden in the coins of today. And now, my friends, we close this journey with one undeniable truth. You are living in an age of hidden treasures. The coins in your pocket, the coins in your drawers, the coins in your old jars could be worth tens of thousands of dollars, even hundreds of thousands. And every day, more people are waking up to that fact. Here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we are faithful to you. We are trustworthy. We bring you the freshest, most accurate, most powerful updates every single day. Because you deserve to know the truth. Because your treasure might be waiting right in front of you. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and join this growing community of treasure hunters and collectors. Because the journey doesn't end here, it's only just beginning. We've revealed 10 of the most valuable Roosevelt dimes ever discovered, each one a fortune, each one proof that greatness can hide in the smallest places. And tomorrow, a new treasure awaits. This is Rare Coin Secrets USA, your faithful guide into the hidden wealth of American coins. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and remember, the next dime you touch might just change your life forever.